Hi, welcome to CastAndLoose Living Room. I'm Lynne Marie Rosenberg. I'm here today with Sarah Storm.
Hey.
Sarah is an actress, writer, producer, voiceover artist, and director, consultant, and speech coach. You might know Sarah from playing Bronwyn Freed Wilkins on Law and Order Special Victims Unit. You might not know her from playing the coveted role of the turkey in her elementary school Thanksgiving play.
I still remember it really vividly. Like, there's a leotard and tights ensemble, and then because in elementary school your parents have to like make the costume, right?
Yes.
So we made this like turkey tail feather that in retrospect looked probably a lot like a peacock, which is totally works, right?
Certainly better than when I played Mary in the Christmas pageant as the only Rosenberg in Sunday school. You're welcome, St. Zephyrins. One of the most famous Marys they're ever going to have. When I asked Sarah what she'd like to talk about today, she mentioned the intersection of ageism and sexism. And in particular, she suggested I use the search term middle-aged just to see what I have. And boy, did I come up with some doozies. Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
To start with, some content makers seem to be very confused by what the term middle means.
Middle-aged female, 20s to mid-30s, open ethnicity.
Apparently this piece takes place before the era of penicillin. She's going to be kicked at 40.
Apparently it's a colonial piece. They're doing something about the birth of this nation or colonialism, and
Birth of a Nation is a whole other issue. Some people seem to be concerned with the emotional state of a middle-aged woman.
I can't wait. Melissa, Caucasian, 40, a regular pretty middle-aged woman, but not a model type. Woman wrung out with sadness. I want someone with a bit of character. Artists have to suffer to have character. You heard it in this breakdown. Wrung out with sadness.
It makes her sound like a terry cloth towel.
Effectively, yes.
But more than anything, writers are interested in the physical appearance of the middle-aged woman. They are concerned with the size of her body.
Linda, supporting female, 40s to 60s. Linda is a middle-aged woman who is slightly stocky in her build, but not to the point of distraction. I don't want to laugh because I think...
Well, you have to or else we'll cry.
or else we'll cry, because that is some thinly coated bullshit.
I'm so distracted. Some writers are interested in a spectrum of appearance.
Mary is a single mother. She's a mildly attractive middle-aged woman who lives in the suburbs. I also want to talk about that for a minute.
Mildly?
Yeah.
You mean that we're rating women on a salsa scale?
I don't think that people are ever thinking about the people on the other side of these breakdowns. It's an interesting thing to have to sit and look in the mirror and kind of like rate your hotness to know what you can apply for. I don't ever submit, and I'm fairly certain my agents never submit me when it's like a project on a network where everyone is known to be like model gorgeous, or a project that specifies like hot, blah, blah, blah. Like, I think I'm cute. I'm happy with myself, but we were talking before this about that sort of white, het, cis, European beauty standard, and yeah, it's some bullshit. I mean, it's some bullshit on so many levels.
Yeah. I think something that comes up with these breakdowns is that, or being an actor in general, being a performer in general, is that there are already these layers of identity problems in the world and what we allow to be beautiful, what we allow to call accepted in this culture. And then when you're a performer, you're dealing with the performance of those identities as well, which just can double down on the person, the human, like you're saying, like, I know when I see the word beautiful, it's not me. I know when I see the word gorgeous, it's not me. It doesn't matter if I believe those things about me.
We should have a more expansive definition of beauty, number one. But then I think we need to dig deeper than that and be like, why do we put so much value on physical beauty? Like, why is it that in order to do things X and Y and Z, a person must meet an attractiveness scale in some way or another to even be considered?
But in general, the middle-aged female character seems to be destined to live in the past.
Woman! Lead role, 40. A middle-aged woman who is reminiscing upon her loss of outward beauty caused by aging. So first of all...
Break it down, Sarah.
Youth does not equal beauty. And if your only standard for beauty is youth, then I don't know how you're going to live with yourself, your loved ones, or your friends for most of your life.
Something that you mentioned, that fat bodies, it seems the only way they can appear on screen is to have a narrative that is about that visual experience of their life. And I feel like in some ways it's similar to a middle-aged category, is that it's got to be about the fact that you're middle-aged, the fact that you're looking back at your, whatever you used to be in your 20s or whatever. There seems to be this, you can't just be a person who is these things. It's got to be about the fact.
It's still seen as radical, right? To put more than one middle-aged or older person on a show in a space. They tend to occupy a particular role when they get there. I know a lot of people who are over age 30 or over age 40 or over even, right? Who qualify for senior discounts. Like, they exist and they have identities and dimensions. And it's just a shame to see people reduced to a prop. The world is expansive and it's beautiful, and there's so much diversity of all sorts of identity types within it. And like, the stories get better the more of those we explore. I was having this conversation with somebody on Twitter. She had said that she wanted to see a narrative that wasn't just about a fat woman wanting to lose weight. And I'd responded to say I wanted to see multiple narratives. I want to see fat women and older women with unapologetic sex lives,
yes,
who don't always agree with each other, who are pursuing all sorts of things. Like, I'm super excited that Lindy West's Shrill is coming out.
I love you, Lindy. We love you. Something that Fernando Gonzalez, who did one of my shows, talked about in terms of Latinx stereotypes is that he would love to see a Latinx character just being boring. Can we see a fat woman just being boring and living her life? Is that something, is that in many ways so much more important, the boringness, the mundaneness of life represented in some ways for certain othered bodies or types or whatever the category is? I think it's actually more important.
And more intersections of those identities also. Can we see somebody that is fatter and older and a person of color? Can we see somebody that's like fatter and younger and hot in an unexpected way? I don't want to shit on the progress that's being made, because there has been a significant amount. But I will feel like we've made real progress when like people are allowed to be seen in all of their dimensions, right? We need more people who come from a variety of perspectives and lived experiences in positions of power, making decisions about our media, if the stories that we tell each other are going to get better. And I think we need the stories that we tell each other to continually improve in order to foster conversations around the dinner table and inspire people to make changes in their lives.
Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
This is such a blast.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching. Take care of each other and be professional. Oh, wait. We have to have our... Okay. Two things. Wait. Two things. One is, this is voting day in New York. Sarah voted.
There it is. I did.
I hope you did as well, even if this doesn't come out today, which is entirely possible. And the other thing is, we are 2 days after Rosh Hashanah. So,
Dun, dun,
da,
dun.
da, da. Please join us at home.
Apples and honey.
Happy New Year.
Shana Tova Umetuka, a good and a sweet New Year.
What she said.